There are important speculations on the table regarding the possibility of a contract renewal for an athlete, which could have significant impacts on the team and its management. The draft will also be briefly discussed, as the visits made by the team before the event are quite informative, and there is a pattern in how management typically acts, which could influence the 2025 NFL Draft. It's worth highlighting that we are getting closer to reaching a new subscriber milestone. We begin the discussion about the athlete in question, who has an impressive trajectory and a strong presence on defense, especially on the interior line under the supervision of a defensive coordinator. He could secure a considerable payout if he maintains his performance level, following the good phase he had in 2024 and standing out again in 2025, potentially becoming one of the highest-paid defenders in the league. This was recently mentioned, as the team has, so far, let many athletes leave in free agency, which is a common technique to manage future budgets. Like any good manager, the administration is always looking ahead and planning, and this situation is reminiscent of decisions made in past drafts. The athlete in question is about to begin his third season next year, with only 1 year left after that. Additionally, being a first-round pick, there is a team option available, which the organization can use and activate in 2027, known as the fifth-year option. Management typically prefers to lock in these deals early, as paying players in advance and securing these contracts helps avoid future pressures. If this can be finalized a bit earlier, it's possible to secure a player at a cost that represents a fraction of their true market value. Therefore, around this time next year, in March 2026, it's crucial to keep an eye on the athlete for the signing of this new agreement with the team, or at least for discussions to take place. So far, in his career in the league, he has proven to be one of the most dominant athletes in the sport. He stands out at defensive tackle. His combination of power, strength, speed, and explosiveness is truly unique. He is a real game-changer and disruptor on the defensive line, and many teams in the league have been emphasizing players in this position, as by disrupting the quarterback's line of sight, it becomes much more complicated for the player to execute their plays. We saw this in a recent game, where a renowned quarterback had one of his worst performances. Additionally, the athlete in question is a product of the team and will turn 24 in April, becoming a young talent just beginning to reveal his full potential. There are aspects in the athlete's contract that could lead him to secure one of the largest contracts for a player not playing quarterback in the franchise's history. His age, performance, and growing potential, along with the increase in the salary cap and the rising value of the defensive tackle position, could result in a contract worth more than $40 million per season. It's interesting to observe what happened in the past seasons with other players in similar positions who signed deals with significant values, more than $40 million each season. Let's analyze what has happened in the recent offseason seasons with other athletes in the same position. One player signed a 5-year deal worth over $158 million, resulting in $31.75 million annually, and sealed this contract at the age of 30. Another athlete decided to leave his previous team to sign with a new one for a 5-year period, valued at $110 million, which equates to $27.5 million per season, with the signing occurring at 29 years old. Recently, an athlete seemed set to transfer to a new club, but received a more favorable offer from another team, resulting in a 4-year contract worth $14 million, or $6 million per season, signed at 26, practically the same age a young talent may be when negotiating an extension. Another player signed a 4-year deal worth $98 million, resulting in an average of $24.5 million annually, signed at 27 years old. One athlete secured a 4-year deal valued at $97 million, with an annual average of $24.25 million, signed at 24. At this point, I consider that a young athlete is superior to all these players, including the one mentioned earlier, which highlights the type of contract he can claim. He had an exceptional season, and among players at his position, he ranked first in snaps, third in pressure rate, fourth in pass rush win rate, tied for third in sacks, second in tackles, second in quarterback pressures, as well as first in pass deflections and forced fumbles. He displayed remarkable talent for making game-changing plays, ranking third in run-stop win rate and recording 8 tackles for loss, which was first. Therefore, when we talk about an important figure in this offseason, who is allowing players to leave while receiving high contract from other teams, it's essential to remember that, in part, this figure is aware that this young talent will soon be looking for a big contract. The team values other players who are also seeking new agreements, and some of them are about to complete the last season of their rookie contracts, which could indicate financial planning to keep these pillars of the team. So, will this young player receive $40 million per season? Let's explore this subject, and I'd like you to share your thoughts. Before we move on, it's essential to avoid spending resources on shaving products that do not deliver satisfactory results, that are ineffective, and that come at high prices. Now, let's address some points regarding the draft related to the Philadelphia Eagles football team. The interest in some intriguing insights about the draft is evident, especially considering the team hosted several offensive linemen for visits before the draft, which will take place in Green Bay, Wisconsin, at the end of April. This practice is relevant because since Howie Roseman took back the leadership of the department after Chip Kelly's departure, pre-draft visits have become an indication of the team's intentions in the first round. Among the players chosen in the first round and their connections to pre-draft visits are Carson Wentz, who visited the NovaCare complex in 2016, leading to his selection in 2017. In 2018, Philadelphia chose Derek Barnett, who had also made a pre-draft visit. In 2019, the team traded its first-round pick, so there was no selection. Andre Dillard did not participate in a pre-draft visit, but was selected in the first round in 2019, representing a significant disappointment. Jalen Reagor visited Philadelphia in 2020 for the pre-draft process, and Devonta Smith was selected in 2021, partly due to the decision to pick Reagor instead of Justin Jefferson. Smith had a victorious season, winning the Heisman Trophy, and visits were not allowed at that time due to the pandemic, showing how different everything was. Jordan Davis also had a pre-draft visit and was chosen by the team. Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith traveled from Athens, Georgia, for their pre-draft visits, resulting in Carter being selected at the 9th pick and Nolan Smith at the 30th, both playing crucial roles in the team's success. It's notable to reflect on the transformations that have taken place since that time. Jordan Davis had a pre-draft visit with the team, as did Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, who also came from Athens to Philadelphia. Howie Roseman chose Carter with the 9th pick and Nolan Smith with the 20th, both being essential players in last year's Super Bowl victory. Quentin Mitchell also underwent a pre-draft visit, and the team was impressed by his performance at Toledo, where he defended over 40 passes in the last 2 college years. He was chosen with the 22nd overall pick. This indicates that 7 of the 9 players selected in the first round since Howie Roseman took control of the department participated in pre-draft visits in Philadelphia, resulting in a success rate of 77%. Currently, players are scheduled to visit Philadelphia and meet with the team's coaching staff and leadership. Josh Connolly, an offensive tackle from Oregon, Marcus Ball, an offensive tackle from Purdue, Anthony Belton, an offensive tackle from NC State, and Jalen Travis from Iowa State, who also plays as an offensive tackle. Let's analyze what each of them can offer, but before, I'd like to know which position you'd like the team to select in the first round. Share your thoughts and comments. Regarding Josh Connolly, I had the chance to talk to him at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis, and he has an impressive size, though his speed raises some concerns. His athletic performance index was 877, and he measures 6 feet 4 inches, weighing 311 pounds. With a good vertical mark for his height, reaching 4 feet 2 inches, he ran just over 5 seconds in the 40-yard dash last year for Oregon. His overall Pro Football Focus grade was 78.1, with a pass blocking grade of 83.5 and a run blocking grade of 72.5. He allowed only 1 sack and 4 penalties, in addition to giving up just 6 pressures. When we discuss offensive linemen, it's always important to mention the influence of a notable coach who has an exceptional talent for developing players in that position. What really stood out last year, when following college football, was Josh Connolly's performance in a matchup against a standout player from Penn State in the Big Ten final. When addressing the Eagles, it's essential to highlight the contribution of a professional who has a remarkable skill for developing offensive line athletes. A key moment from last year was the performance of a player during a college football game, where he stood out against a competitor from a respected university in the conference final. This opponent is seen as a top pick for the upcoming draft, and it's believed he is close to becoming an exceptional pass rusher. The other player managed to hold firm under pressure, which was quite admirable. Regarding a different prospect, there's an expectation that the pronunciation will be correct, with names adjusted as the draft date approaches. However, we observed great versatility in his positions. In 2021, he played 21 snaps as right guard and 13 as left guard. The following year, he had 647 snaps as right guard and 63 as right tackle. In the past 2 years, he accumulated 446 snaps as right tackle in 2023 and 658 snaps in the same position in 2024. He faced difficulties with pressure in 2024 and didn't receive a particularly positive evaluation. I don't expect him to receive a first-round pick, as his overall average is 73, with 68 for pass blocking and 77.2 for run blocking. He allowed 3 sacks, and when analyzing his data, he also suffered 21 hurries, which indicates a slight delay in his snap preparation. However, this may be an athlete the team considers as a development option on the second or third day of the draft. Another intriguing prospect from the 2025 class is a player from NC State, known for his impressive size and solid performance last year, with an overall grade of 73.7 and a pass blocking grade of 87.2. I appreciated his explosiveness at the line of scrimmage, and as we know, athletes with similar traits tend to move laterally to position themselves for pass blocking. His run blocking grade is 69.4, and although he needs to improve in some areas, allowing just 3 sacks is a notable achievement, especially considering he gave up only 8 hurries. This number is respectable and may be influenced by the quarterback's performance, particularly when this young player struggles to release the ball quickly and accurately. Recently, I had the chance to talk to the prospect during a significant event where he mentioned that he was scheduled for a pre-draft visit with the team from the city. It all starts in the trenches. It's crucial to ensure the safety of the trenches to protect the key players in the backfield. I wasn't exaggerating when mentioning the stature of a specific player who stands 6 feet 6 inches tall and weighs over 330 pounds. Incredible. With these measurements, he clocked a time of 5.28 seconds in the 40-yard dash. Can you imagine him moving quickly in a block while a defender tries to get past him for a tackle? Many would probably be running for their lives. Another player shows versatility in his position, coming from university where he played as tackle, logging 1,414 snaps on the left side and 501 on the right side. He showed an exceptional athletic performance, achieving a 1.91 in the relative athletic index. At 6 feet 7 inches tall and weighing over 330 pounds, he jumped 35 inches vertically and made a long jump exceeding 9 feet. He also had a time of 5.14 seconds in the 40-yard dash, with his 20-yard split highlighted in green, showing quickness in short spaces, an essential characteristic for an offensive lineman. To reiterate, in a previous draft simulation, an offensive lineman was selected in the first round, coming from a university that allows him to play any position on the offensive line. Some might question the emphasis on the offensive line, seeing it as less glamorous, but the priority is to strengthen the trenches. During a relevant event, I was right in front of him when he declared his healthy obsession with getting offensive and defensive linemen. There's a constant desire to replenish and expand depth in these areas. Have you ever had fun watching one team dominate another team with their offensive and defensive lines? That's why many of these players are making pre-draft visits to a city. Not all of them will be selected in the first round, but there is a pattern of acquiring players who participate in these visits to the top 30 proposals before the draft. Keep following for full coverage and extensive content. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Imagine the shockwave it would send through the NFL. Josh Allen, the dynamic and powerful quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, suiting up for the Philadelphia Eagles. Could this be more than just a pipe dream? Speculation has been swirling around the idea of Allen joining one of the league's most formidable teams, and it has fans from both franchises buzzing. The prospect of such a high-caliber player leaving Buffalo could alter the course of the Eagles' season and change the balance of power in the NFC. Josh Allen has already made his mark in the NFL, leading the Bills to 6 playoff appearances and 5 consecutive division titles. His 2020 breakout season remains legendary, setting franchise records for passing yards and touchdowns while earning Pro Bowl honors. But now, amid speculation that the Bills might be looking to shake up their roster, whispers of Allen's potential departure to the Eagles have surfaced. The Eagles' offense, already loaded with talent, could skyrocket to new heights with Allen at the helm. What could this mean for their Super Bowl ambitions? For the Bills, the prospect of losing Allen is daunting. After all, he's been the face of their franchise, guiding them to unprecedented success. However, his recent injury struggles and the team's shifting dynamics may leave the door open for a trade. The Eagles, with their deep pockets and championship-caliber roster, might be willing to take the risk and bring in a quarterback capable of taking them to the promised land. The synergy between Allen and Philadelphia's offensive weapons, including A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, could be the perfect storm. Josh Allen is not just any quarterback. He's a force of nature. Known for his arm strength, mobility, and playmaking ability, he's one of the most dangerous dual-threat quarterbacks in the NFL. Allen's ability to extend plays with his legs while keeping his eyes downfield makes him a nightmare for defenses. His cannon of an arm allows him to make throws others can only dream of, from deep bombs to precision passes in tight windows. These are qualities that could take the Philadelphia Eagles to another level, and it's no surprise that coach Nick Sirianni sees him as the perfect fit to lead his high-powered offense. Under Nick Sirianni's leadership, the Eagles have excelled in creating a balanced, versatile offense. Sirianni's scheme is built around explosive plays, adaptability, and a commitment to winning in all phases of the game. With Allen's skill set, Sirianni would have the ideal quarterback to run an offense that capitalizes on every opportunity. Allen's ability to scramble and create off-schedule plays could complement the Eagles' dynamic receiving core, adding a new dimension to their attack. Pairing him with Sirianni's offensive mindset could bring an unstoppable force to the team. One of the most impressive aspects of Allen's game is his mental toughness and leadership. He thrives in high-pressure situations, consistently rising to the occasion in crucial moments. This trait is exactly what the Eagles need in a quarterback. Allen's poise under fire, combined with his unwavering confidence, would give Sirianni a quarterback capable of managing games, leading comebacks, and keeping the team focused even in the most challenging circumstances. His leadership qualities would not only elevate the offense, but also inspire the entire locker room. The potential acquisition of Josh Allen would signal a new chapter for the Eagles, one where they're not just contenders, but favorites to dominate the NFC. With Allen at the helm, Sirianni could implement even more diverse and complex offensive strategies, knowing he has a quarterback capable of executing them flawlessly. The Eagles' window for Super Bowl would be wide open, and with a player of Allen's caliber leading the charge, it's hard to imagine a team more dangerous in the league. If Josh Allen were to join the Eagles, it would undoubtedly create waves of excitement, and just as many questions. Would this trade propel the Eagles into a new era of dominance? Could Allen adapt to his new surroundings and thrive under the pressure of leading a team with such high expectations? Only time will tell, but for now, the rumor mill continues to churn, leaving NFL fans eagerly awaiting what could be one of the most jaw-dropping moves in recent memory. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.